they leave his stuff alone, so he at least has shelter when he comes out of the hospital. The sun is shining.
It is, but it's okay. I can take the coat off when we get there. I'm overstuffed. I feel like Kenny from South Park.
Do you know what they're doing here?
I have what the fog is.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Walking off the road making a problem.
Yeah.
So they can have parking.
Whoever's here.
Yes.
I have no idea if they're doing
Building
something big.
So, at any rate, hey Irish Rover, awesome you're in here.
Irish Rover said I have St. Patty's.
Right, he did. He let me know right away this morning after St. Patrick's Day. It's traffic. Oh my Atlanta.
Hey, so should I go to the one in Woodville then? If you want one, you said a large.
Let's do both sides at the same time.
But we'll just
Yeah, close.
Yeah, right? We didn't get on Saturday. We tried to make the first trip.
Yeah, make that
way. Yeah, bad we go.
You said large in teams. So what was the one in teams? Message from teams.
So this meeting is roughly like the same format. The city presents all
Like they
wonderful
can.
things
Save me
they're
some.
doing.
Because I don't want
They
to.
can tell us
I
if
gotta spend enough money today. Nachos? Okay. Is there tacos still in the kitchen?
No, you can only get it during these hours.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
Or do I need to get food too?
And the bathrooms are a mile or two away from
Oh, at least, if,
anywhere you really
height
need
from
them.
downtown.
Sweet. So it's in the staff lounge?
Nothing good. Oh, shit, that didn't work so well. That's okay. We made it work. Look at you.
All right. All right. I'll hit the one in Woodville. I was gonna hit the one here, but
All
right.
I got all kinds of therapy to work out.
I had a constant yelling session.
There you go.
for,
There you go.
I don't know, 2-3 days.
Oh, you're going short. My God, what are you going to do? I'll stay out of your way. Wow. I don't get yelled at.
Out of tires?
There's too many idiots, you know? There's too many better options for yelling.
Yeah, the sun is shining here, you guys, but it's not very nice. Remember, let's see, 2 days ago,
70
it
degrees.
was 72 degrees when I did that last live stream. And
It was like 30 the next day. Freezing.
and those temperatures started to drop. I mean, within hours.
That's
So
all right.
72 at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and by like 10 o'clock that night, it was like 30. So it started raining and snowing.
It just got cold. My hands got cold. I'm glad we moved because the spot where I was at, I have my makeshift kitchen that I prop up in the back. I had that ready to go, and that's when the rain got heavy and it flooded. It's like crap, so I had to get out of there, get into my makeshift shower, but that's okay. The kid brought me a pallet yesterday I can use. It's like, okay, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a little crush on me. I don't get it, but whatever.
And how old's this one?
Oh, I don't even know. He's young.
That's cute.
Yeah.
It never hurts to have people shut
Hey,
down the phone
it doesn't.
if they have good intentions.
Right? Bringing me crap I need. Even when I had that shopping cart out there that I used to move that stuff down there, he left that there. I'm like, well, your cart, I put it back. He's like, that's not my cart. I just got it for you to move that way. Okay. I think it was by John's and he pawned it off on.
Gotcha. Yeah, so everybody, we're headed into downtown Denver. Yay. Down by the Performing Arts Complex.
Of all places.
Where there's absolutely no parking.
Hey, Doug.
Maybe we'll get lucky.
You want to take care of my client in, about an hour away? Got to fix some computer stuff.
Tonight was like Satan. I think his tongue stuck to home.
They hired and fired a couple people, so I got to fix that.
Things are going to be just, oh yeah, everything's going to be totally so.
So Shannon, so there are these underlining conversations behind the scenes
Yeah.
going on in Denver. I listened listened to a presentation the other night on Zoom. District 6 Councilman Cashman.
Okay. I don't even know where District 6 is.
I'm not even 100% sure what the boundaries are either, but it's Denver.
Yeah.
And he has a huge problem.
Oh, there's a shop.
Yeah, with
whatever.
drug addicts.
Oh, that's what it is. And all the homeless must be addicts.
That's it.
Evidently.
Right? But he's very compassionate. He's very compassionate, and he has signed on with the letter about not doing sweeps in freezing temps, right? So this guy knows how to play the fence.
He's playing that for his people. They don't want to be out there any more than we do.
Well, exactly. But what Paul's underlining intentions are is to get a bunch of groups to form within Denver, and they are Clean and Safe Denver, and there's some other new group, blah blah blah, right? So we can have this community support.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with those things. But
there is.
Okay.
When it is your intention to rally to pass legislation for
against the homeless,
for involuntary holds, and what bottom line, they want to take people. They have pegged drug addicts.
Oh my God, that's
and force them into outpatient therapy, continue to make you live on the street, right? Everyone.
They're going to help nobody and just make it worse.
Yes, and use government force to do it.
Yeah, so you can arrest us too. Yeah,
that's exactly
3 cops in the cops van, right?
All right. That's fine. Probably grab something on the way home too. So.
You know.
Wanted to grab juice this morning too.
And one person.
Is there a place in between here and there?
We have data indicates we have more housed drug addicts.
Yeah.
Than we do out on the streets.
Yeah, there's drug addicts in every capacity of life. I tell you, I've done what I've done in my life, and I've had my days, but I promise you, there are just as many meth addicts in high-paying positions than there are in the streets.
Absolutely.
You got these businessmen down there doing blues. Want to bet? No, they are. The street, you see everything. Get to know that. These people assume you can find these things.
I'll check.
What goes my mind sometimes? People ask me.
Yep.
Really?
You get a chance, can you look it up?
Do that?
Oh, this is dangerous stuff, and it's
I mean, targeted just at the homeless anyway.
Well, yeah, that's the goal. But you know, unintended consequences of what looks good and feels good on the surface.
And who's to say they can't say you're an addict, you're gonna do this?
Exactly.
You gotta prove it.
Oh yeah, you gotta prove it, or you're going to jail. That's what an involuntary hold is.
Yeah, exactly. I get it.
It's good. It is good.
At that point, why don't you just make it legal to take anybody who can live from you?
Welcome.
And Hancock.
All right, let me look it up. You're busy.
Well, as soon as you start to get over, you just get right quick.
Right.
Yeah, it's Captain ASAP for you.
It's a war zone out here.
Excuse me, the word of it.
Asinine.
Asinine. Smile like he's
nice truck.
This and he hit the gentleman with the door. That's when he looked up and saw the brick, the giant wall coming at him about 20 feet away, slammed on the brakes, missed it. Funny as hell to me. I was laughing about it. It's like, you think I'm happy because he just pissed you off? I'm stopping you from driving into that thing because see, that's a huge excavator it takes to lift that thing. I mean, it was probably 20 feet wide by 15 feet high. Oh, this wasn't this house last week, but it was down in Littleton. They're building this huge wall around this golf course thing. I mean, it was a giant. I want to say Quincy and Wadsworth, roughly, I think. Something there. Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. It cracked me. I'll never forget that. Looked at me and smiled like, okay.
Fucking ass hat.
He gets mad at pop cars and stops like pop.
That's gonna be the scratch.
That doesn't work for his funny.
What? I'm done.
He's a big guy.
Gee, boy.
Yeah, but we're not gonna get out to you know. You have to laugh. You know. I was doing on Quincy, maybe Quincy if I were to go airport was, and it was just non-stop slow traffic. That's all I did was stood there with slow.
Just stand there.
And I started laughing because everybody looks at me. And I'm thinking, like you have an option. That's why I started, like you have an option. Slow, like you have an option. Like it's an alternative. Right, look, slow is all you're going. Yeah, and it was right by United building. There were a bunch of pilots in town that day, so I was having fun talking to them. They were across the street. And I'd be sitting there looking like, how you doing? It's like, it's a good thing these people don't fly. I think some of
So
these
it's
folks...
right over there, right?
Yeah, it is. I forget
the
where I'm
garage.
We did. I think we did. I think we did. We drove around the building and went the other side. I don't know. We wound up at the same place.
Because it's right around
I thought it was here.
it's right around.
It's like right here and around the corner, right? Or more. I think. I think every. When you don't drive, you don't always pay attention when you're going. Even though you know where you're at, you're like, yeah, whatever, I can do.
That's something.
Yeah. And thank God I'm not at the
Stick with us, guys. Buffering. Our
She will tell us where they're gonna get it.
This
They
place
think.
is
It's just needed something. It's a big. Me or. Good idea. Okay, there we go. Sometimes, just don't tell me. We're a reputation of being a worthless bitch. Yeah.
stop it.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. Let them underestimate me. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Made it.
We did. I said I don't stink. Do I? I said you didn't answer. This is good.
All right. Okay, here we go. Stick with us to make me buffering. Buddy from New York City. Hey, thanks for being in here. You know what? We were just talking about involuntary removals, and this councilman that wants to put all quote-unquote drug addicts on. Well, yeah, and they don't have to go to jails. I've said this all along. That's their goal anyway. But he got this idea from involuntary holds in New York. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, we're definitely headed that direction.
Hey, Bokomo.
To pass, we'll come up with a change state law because it says right now, it's very specific. You can't put on an involuntary hold unless there's serious imminent danger to them or someone else.
Welcome.
So,
Yeah, to the shore.
Found a place to get some vape juice. Drive to Vapors Quit Smoking Center.
This garage is so full. Nothing's coming on. Yeah, we gotta get over there on the street. Well, it's done. Oh my God, it's cups. That is symphony.
Yeah, there's one right here in Rossford. I just vape papers being here. Regan's buffering, so we're gonna find somebody else live. Here. No mercy. Doug. Happy Shenanigans Day. Splinkling out here. I'm trying to get something going here. Rumble, 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 rumble. Oh wow, I'm not even logged into Rumble. Watch out for the leprechauns in the trees. Fuck. Not even sure which one is my login. I think it's the Uncle G bot. Nope. Nope. Sign out. Sign out. Log in. Today off. Well, now I have to head out to one of our centers and do some computer work. But yeah, I'm off of the staffing job today. Fuck. Yeah. I'm sure they'll be full. Fuck. I don't know my login, my Rumble login. I'm gonna stop and get some vape juice, and then we're gonna stop and get a Shamrock Shake for the wife on the way to one of the treatment centers. I gotta do some network work. Had to fix a couple things. Fuck. I don't know which email it is. So we'll just go back to YouTube, I guess, for now. Wanted to watch Russell or listen to Russell in the background. Vape and tobacco store there. It used to be called Vapors, now it's called Vape and Tobacco. Yeah, it's raining here too. I just gotta run in and grab some vape juice. They got that kratom. Some folks seem to think it's a decent alternative. All right, we'll put it on Russell. I mean, his thing is going to be short.
Oh no! There's a financial crisis. Hopefully it won't have been caused by deregulation. Hopefully you won't ultimately end up bailing them out, even if it's tangentially. And hopefully some of the same people that were involved in the 2008 financial crisis won't be involved in this one.
All right. Be right back.
There, you 6 million awakening wonders. Thanks for joining us on this voyage towards truth and freedom. A voyage that must be undertaken together, where we must find new unity, where we have to stop throwing rocks at one another and find ways of uniting, coming together in a conciliatory fashion in order to confront centralized power. If you don't subscribe to our channel yet, subscribe to it right now. Turn on the notification bell. That's the only way that the algorithm is going to let you get our daily content. Remember, you can join us every day on Rumble. It's fantastic content there. We talk about it in a much broader way, and of course we're free to say whatever we want to say, and what we want to say is that together we can change the world. That's the message. And one of the ways we can change the world is by observing patterns. For example, if there was a massive bank crash in 2008 that was caused by impropriety, deregulation, prioritizing financial interests above the interests of ordinary people, that literally had some of the same protagonists involved. I'm not suggesting they're major players, but certainly people that worked at Lehman Brothers and Deutsche Bank now work at Silicon Valley Bank. I mean, that's enough of a connection. Deregulation somewhat led to this situation, and it's even possible that people will continue to profit in spite of the fact that on the surface loads of money has gone missing or disappeared. Let's get into this story in detail and see what it can teach us about the way that Washington and Wall Street interact, the symbiosis and revolving door between those two institutions, and how ultimately, even if Joe Biden literally goes on the TV and says taxpayers won't pay for it, if you change the word taxpayer to the word you, that might not be true. Here's a mainstream media news take, MSNBC, you know how those guys love me. Hopefully they won't make this a partisan issue. They'll accept that there are a lot of institutional problems that need to be resolved that neither party are addressing. They won't simply say this is the fault of one of the parties, you know, the one we don't like.
5 years ago, when Republicans were last in control of the House of Representatives, they used the opportunity to roll back banking regulations put into place after the 2008 financial crisis.
Do you see that what they're essentially saying is this is Trump's fault? Here's Trump surrounded by people. Now, of course, Trump's actions do contribute to this current crisis. But is that the entire story? No, because already what he's not told you is in 2008, Barack Obama bailed out the banks after that financial crisis, meaning that the people that literally caused that problem were given the opportunity to participate in the resolution of that problem, as well as being exculpated from the blame that they ought rightly have shared in. No one went to prison, no one was penalised properly, whereas across America and across the world,
all right,
people lost their homes, lost their jobs, measurable, meaningful consequences. Were there measurable, meaningful consequences?
Really? I can't find workers, man.
Let me know in the comments. Just in case you don't know everything about the
I just got another client yesterday.
World of global finance. Here are some
jobs starting between 60 and 70,000 a year.
Silicon Valley Bank,
Nobody will take.
A top lender to venture capital firms,
starting.
Startups, and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation took it over, following a bank run by its customers. I think that means
not a good time to be in staffing, man.
On Sunday, regulators closed New York-based Signature Bank. During the pandemic, startups and technology companies enjoyed heady profits, some of which they deposited in the Silicon
You gotta have some
Bank.
experience, but
With their cash, the bank did what banks do. It kept a fraction
it's
of
not a
it,
hard job.
invested the rest, put it
Production
back
manager or
into
line managers at a manufacturing facility.
returns when interest rates were low. So
Line
far,
supervisors.
so good. As long as them interest rates remain low, nothing to worry about. We'll be rich. Rich, I tells you. But then, starting a little more than a year ago, the Fed raised interest rates from near zero to over 4.5%.
We're gonna get going. I still gotta stop and get a Shamrock Shake for the wife and I on the way out there. I'm gonna wait till we get closer to that McDougal's.
Interest rates rose, the gutter of venture funding to startup and tech companies slowed because venture funds had to pay more to borrow money. As a result, these startup and tech companies had to withdraw more of their money from the bank to meet their payroll and other expenses. But the bank didn't have enough money on hand. Yesterday, we also spoke to Ryan Grimm, who talked about a text message chain where people that were invested in SVB, or at least had their money in SVB, communicated about drawing that money out prior.
Nobody wants to really work.
That should be investigated.
That's it.
Significant information. Why didn't they just draw out their money individually? individually? Why did they do it collectively?
I've got...
Any responsible reporting on this issue has to include the most recent and significant financial crash, the events of 2000.
I've got jobs that start at $16 an hour.
Still being felt right now.
No background, no drug screen. 10-hour shift, you only have to work 4 days a week. Anything over is time and a half. Literally hanging parts on a hook. Or taking them off the hook and putting them in a box for $16 an hour. Not heavy parts either, mostly.
Supporting and standing up for ordinary people from across the political and social spectrum. No way.
That's that factory job at night.
Instead, what did he do? He did what you would imagine he'd do. He bailed out the donors and banks. Then they let people set up new regulations and new rules that were involved in their crisis.
Yeah, gas station. My vape's almost empty. I'm gonna try and fill it while I'm driving. So. Oh shit!
And they went, oh, you know, we'll let you trade in
Marsh break.
Stuff together and make it responsible bets and communicate in ways. They're the people that made those decisions. But present.
I got banana ice.
They're not going to go, oh, those ideas that we had then, they were bad ideas. Why don't we put the people?
Yeah, I mean, but that's like.
Oh no, it's me.
Yeah. Retired. If I could afford to, I would, Doug.
Estimates of the true cost of the bailout vary from $500 billion to several trillion.
Believe me, I would. If I could afford to retire, I would.
At that phase, but it was not abstract, not having an ounce.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford to retire.
The big banks in the form of virtually free loans. But homeowners whose homes were sold worth less than the mortgages they owed on them were left hanging in the wind. Many lost their homes. Obama thereby shifted the cost of the bankers' speculative bids onto ordinary Americans, deepening mistrust of a political system increasingly and rigged in favour of the rich and powerful. Now in a minute we'll watch Joe Biden's speech, and he says things like, you know, capitalism's about risk. If you risk money and you lose money, that's on you. But it ain't on you. And he was obviously vice president when that happened. So what kind of credibility has he got when it comes to talking about financial crisis? Now, what we see more and more in these investigations that we undertake here today for the media is that the system is rigged in order to support institutional, financial and military industrial complex power, and the skill of the political class and media class is managing that information. So it seems like it's either the right thing to do, or there's no option but to do it, or the other people would have done it worse and they have done it worse as well. So we just feel trapped in a situation where there's just no options. But the fact is, there are options. Democracy is an option. Independent journalism is an option. Independent thought is an option. Your freedom is an option. But to understand this story a little more deeply and with a little more clarity, we have to look at events in 2015 as well. 8 years before the second largest bank failure in American history occurred, SVB's president personally pressed Congress to reduce scrutiny of his financial institution. So 8 years ago, the deregulation. Do you know how to make things a lot easier? Deregulation. But they let you do more stuff that you want to do without stopping you from doing it in case it causes a financial crash or something. Yeah, that's right. Deregulated. Let us do what we want to do. I see banking as being like jazz. I like my banking to be pretty close. Okay, we'll deregulate you, but there won't be some sort of crisis. I'm promising you, I give you my word as a banker. There. Okay. Is it me? Or does the future feel more insecure and uncertain? Wars, pandemics, lies.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Banana juice.
For those who are in the United States, there is
chilled banana, it's called.
American Hartford Gold make it easy to protect your savings and retirement accounts with physical gold and silver. With one phone call, they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door. Or inside
Now, kids don't understand what it takes to earn anything.
401k. American Hartford Gold is the highest rated firm in the US with an A+ rating from the BBB and thousands of satisfied clients. Right now, they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first qualifying order. This offer is only for US customers. Call 866-505-8315. That's 866-505-8315. Or
Where's my track
text
control?
to 998899. Get up to $5,000 in silver and protect your future in this crazy world with some solid precious metals.
Hey, on a mouse.
In 2015, SVB President Greg Becker submitted a statement to a Senate panel pushing legislators to exempt more banks, including his own. Obviously, other banks, not mine. I'll do it the hard way, but these other guys, give them a shot. From new regulations passed in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis.
Let me see if I could get it. Bring up that downs now.
Were introduced. We cannot let that happen again. We've got to stop it.
Hopefully it's late enough. It's 1:18. Oh shit! It's only almost 2 o'clock by the time I get there.
Impossible for me to make money in unethical and currently illegal ways. 2 months later, SVB added former
Yeah, it's not good, man.
Department official Mary Miller to his board. So they do a bit of lobbying. They appoint a former Obama administration member, and what do you know? They suddenly get their way. But don't think there's a revolving door between Washington and Wall Street. Don't think that no matter who you vote for, you're going to get the same sort of results. Don't think that there's no one in Washington standing up for your rights, in even the peripheral figures that do care about your rights, voices in the wilderness that won't have any meaningful impact, because institutional power is locked into a set of interests that can't be moved by democracy. They've rigged the game. You know that already. Around that time, federal disclosure records show the bank was lobbying lawmakers on financial regulatory reform and the Systemic Risk Designation Improvement Act of 2015, a bill that was the precursor to legislation ultimately signed by President Donald Trump. The bill was supported in the Senate by 50 Republicans and 17 Democrats, including Virginia Senator Mark Warner, Democrat, for whom Becker held a fundraiser at his Menlo Park, California home in 2016. It's exactly what you think it is, isn't it? They hold fundraisers. If I hold a fundraiser for you, will you deregulate the banking industry so I can make money? Yes? Yes, I will. Oh, before I go, does that not make you feel compromised? You know that you're not representing the interests of the people that you were elected by to protect them, particularly in the wake of the 2008 crash? Sorry, I stopped listening after we agreed on the fundraiser. 3 years later, after the bank spent more than $500 million on federal lobbying, lawmakers obliged. That's the phases it took. Bit of lobbying, employ someone, hold a couple of fundraisers, bit more lobbying, crack on and earn your money. Progressive critics have been quick to blame a deregulatory measure approved 5 years ago by the then Republican-controlled Congress for engendering 2 of the 3 largest bank failures in US history. Yeah, because then what you can do is you can have your cake and eat it. You can still feel like you're on the right side of history and everything, and not do anything to change anything. That's what happens again and again and again. In fact, I increasingly believe that is the position. Well, the alternatives available are these bastards or us bastards. And us bastards always pretend to care about people that are slightly different from us. The GOP, however, wasn't alone in supporting Senator Mike Crapo's Republican Idaho economic growth regulatory relief and consumer protection. Now, even then, it wasn't just Republicans. Barney Frank, architect of the Dodd-Frank banking regulations implemented in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, played a key role in whitewashing the bipartisan effort to weaken us in 2018 after he received more than $1 million while serving on Signature's board following his departure from Congress. Just take a moment to absorb that. One of the people that came up with the regulations to prevent another crash like 2008 ever happening again is Barney Frank. Got a job on the board of Signature that took $1 million.
What deal do I have?
The regulation that he himself came up with. He must have known what that regulation was supposed to be doing. Oh, yeah, we're going to start another financial crash of this nature. Well, I've come up with some regulations if we carry the one across there it should work. Okay, thank you, Barney. Great work there. Couple of years.
I don't have anything on my order yet.
Some of those regulations is making it difficult for some of the guys to make money. Oh, yeah. I mean, would there be any problems? I can't think of any problems off the top of my head. I think I was feeling a bit regulatory that day. I was regulating everything. I regulated the cat, regulated the dog. I regulated my shoes so tight that one of my toes fell off. We gotta loosen things up. I'm gonna need a little space, a little room, in particular, to store some of this cash that I've recently acquired that it's none of your business. Where I, as a matter of fact, does anyone need anything deregulated? Roll up. They think you regulated this a couple of years ago. Yeah, you can deregulate that at the right price. Essentially, Frank downplayed the risk of deregulation while being paid by a bank that stood to gain from it. I don't think there's any problem deregulating. With just a few moments of scrutiny, it becomes perfectly clear that whilst you could say that the measures passed by Trump contribute to this problem, it was already a bipartisan bill, therefore culpability must be shared by both parties. It also relates to early events, specifically the events in 2008. Also, that a Democrat, Barney Frank, created that regulation, then lobbied for the deregulation while working at one of those banks that gave him money. So you can't have they are, but also the Democrats are to blame as well. For example, they've learned that we don't like bailing out banks, so they'll be very careful to say we won't be bailing out the banks using taxpayer money. We've got this special miracle fund that only comes from bankers. Okay, do you think if we spend a moment pondering that, do you think the banks might look to somehow rescind those
fuck? It won't.
Mitigate those losses elsewhere. Who would you think the banks will look to get the money from? General Slot? Thanos? Baddies from the other reaches of space? Who do you think it might be? You.
Today, thanks to the quick action of my administration,
Sorry, guys.
Americans can have confidence that the banking system is
It says I have an order in that I don't. It's from days ago. I picked it up. I don't know why it doesn't clear off of that.
taxpayers. Instead, the money will come from the fees that banks pay into the Deposit Insurance Fund. Investors in the banks will not be protected. They knowingly took a risk, and when the risk didn't pay off, investors lose their money. That's how capitalism works.
That's why there's not people involved in Lehman Brothers and Deutsche Bank working at these banks. Like Joseph Gentile can't really have worked at Lehman Brothers and also SDP. And Kim Olsen can't really have worked at Deutsche Bank and Signature. Otherwise, what Joe Biden's saying there would be a mad lie.
During the Obama-Biden administration, we put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, including the Dodd-Frank law.
Dodd-Frank law, that's that guy, Frank, lobbied to change the law so that bank he worked for, who gave him $1 million to benefit.
Make sure that the crisis we saw in 2008 will not happen again. Unfortunately,
It did happen again.
the last administration rolled back some of these requirements.
Oh, that last administration when people held fundraisers. Oh, that last administration that was voted for by both parties. Oh, that last administration that was a direct result of the failures of 2008. Joe Biden and
Oh, fuck, man. The app's not working at all. It's got an old order in it that I can't get rid of.
And Signature Bank, or indeed any further bank failures, won't come at taxpayers' expense. On Monday, Biden was at pains to say that no losses will be borne by
Guess I'll just use the
taxpayers.
app
And
to-
the money come from the fees that banks pay into the Deposit Insurance Fund of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC. His comments followed those of Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, who told CBS on Sunday, "Let me be clear that during the financial crisis, there were investors and owners of systemic large banks that were bailed out, and the reforms that have been put in place means that we're not going to do that again in the same way, in a way that's visible and plain, because we worked out we can get away with this stuff if we just change the words a little bit. But one thing we can tell you is the financial industry isn't going to be meaningfully persecuted in the same way that Joe Biden's Big Pharma, We Beat Pharma This Year bill isn't going to meaningfully penalise them. Otherwise, you won't be seeing Pfizer come in and say we've made record profit. What they'll do is they'll find a way of being able to say something to you, but oh, we changed it, look, that won't make a meaningful difference, not to the profits of the pharmaceutical industry. We beat pharma this year! Jason Furman, chair of the Council of Economic Advisors under Barack Obama, was not convinced, saying, make no mistake, it does have an expected cost to taxpayers. Even Andrew Ross saw
All these fuckers getting ahead of me because I can't get this app to fucking work.
It's a bailout, not like 2000,
Oh well.
but it's a bailout of the venture capital community and their portfolio companies, their investments. It's easy to see
Oh
why
shit.
the Biden administration
Recording near school.
avoid the B word, given the general
Let me try this.
activity
Let me try
towards
signing out and
the
signing back
enormous
in,
bailouts
maybe.
that Wall Street banks received
I don't know why it's
during
acting so
2008
fucking weird.
crisis.
Profile.
Generally speaking, it created a populist movement known
Delete
as
account, new,
Occupy,
sign
where
out. There
people
we
from
go.
across the political spectrum came together,
Sign out.
recognizing that their interests, shared interests, meant they ought to put aside any
Alright.
cultural differences and come together to confront
Sign
social
in.
power. Have you noticed that since then, there's a lot of talk
Wow,
about how
3
we're
people
all
have logged in
different
since
from one
I
another, and how we
did.
spend all our time fighting one another based on our cultural, sexual, and identity differences. What a weird coincidence. Almost as if a culture is pumping you full of information to make you think, oh God, that person's got a different type of dicky bird than I got. Spend all your time worrying about stuff that doesn't really matter if you stop thinking about it. Finance officials have said that covering depositor losses from the bank failures will be met in part by the Deposit Insurance Fund held by the FDIC, the government corporation that supplies deposit insurance to depositors in US commercial banks and saving banks. But Susanna Streeter,
There we
head of
go.
Money and Markets at Hargreaves,
There we go. We got it
the
working
modern
now.
banking system will bear the brunt of the bailout of banking customers, as the money will come from fees institutions pay into the Deposit Insurance Fund. So this won't affect you unless you use money. No, perhaps you don't use money in your life. I, of course, get through life just by, if I need a good or service, what I do is I sing them a song, and they'll just get my money like that, so I'm not affected by banking stuff. If that happens, it will get harder to argue that the non-bailout bailout will not ultimately fall on US taxpayers. But they will keep arguing it, or they'll wait a little bit of time, like they did with the 2008 regulations, before rescinding them because you're thinking about something else. Because by then, there'll be a war or a pandemic, and we'll be thinking about that, and you'll forget, oh no, there was that thing, weren't they, where they lied to us again. Don't forget. Assuming there are wider losses not covered either by SVB and signature assets or federal deposit I think it should be expected to fall on bank customers indirectly. Morgan Ritz, a banking professor at Vanderbilt Law School, told NBC. Okay, so let's see if there is a relationship between the way that parties are funded and the way that parties behave when in office, and if Biden's serious when he spouts invective about how the perpetrators of these events will be punished. In 2020, President Trump...
All right, we got it. Order is BJ32. Today's... All right, sorry about that, guys.
Campaign donations to Biden were 5 times larger than to Trump. What this clearly demonstrates to me is that there is a porous relationship between Wall Street and Washington. If you give enough money to the Democrat Party or the Republican Party, they will legislate, regulate, and govern in accordance with your wishes, not in accordance with the people that voted them into office.
Nerd.
Biden received 5 times more money from Wall Street than Trump. Do you think that receiving this enormous injection of cash will impede his ability to regulate, guide, and influence the manner in which he regulates the financial industry? Or do you think he'll just
chilled banana
and forget all about it? The same way they took your vote, then forgot what they promised you. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think.
This one actually tastes a little bit better than the last one.
Right now, so you know about these videos we make them every single day. Watch the live stream show. It's lively, it's funny, great guests, lots of free speakers, and you're gonna love it. We're bringing people together from across the spectrum. We ain't been beaten down. We're waking right up, and we want you with us. Stay free. All right.
Shit. Nerd. Ooh, bacon ranch. McCrispy. Limited time.
Hi, let us know your loyalty code or proceed with your order.
Yeah, mobile order BJ32.
Hey, for Norm, yeah, just put on the first one over.
All right. Apparently the shake machine's working. Gotta love the shake machine. Fries in a shake, baby. Shamrock shake. Gotta get it. I got a schmedium. Wife got a schmall. We're watching our figures. Or I'm watching mine anyway. I'm watching hers too. Because he's nice. She got a nice figure. This is 2 minutes till this starts. I don't know why it waits 2 minutes before it even starts. Here we go. Oh, geez, she's got a mask on. Poor scared old lady. I feel bad for them. It's the old people that have the masks on still. Damn, shake. Shit, how come we got no sound? How come we got no sound? Audio.
Hello there, you awake
There we go.
wonders. Welcome to Stay Free with Russell Brand. I'm thrilled to say
His intro didn't have any sound. Something was wrong.
Conversation with free thinkers radicals, disruptors, prophets and shaman. Today,
I gotta figure out how to get Rumble logged back in on my phone. I haven't done it since I got it. I just realized that.
Having complex conversations about the division between left and right, the division between different cultural groups, and the exacerbation of that conflict by different media outlets. I am craving an opportunity to have a conversation with a cast iron advocate for compassion. I'm craving a conversation with a deep thinker with an open heart. Today I'm joined by Dr. Cornel West.
Hi. Hey. I'm just gonna stop at the exit.
How can we bring about a new unity when people are living with so much fear?
We need a
Shit.
truthful analysis, and the analysis has to be one in which it focuses on the precious lives of poor and working people, no matter what color they are, wretched of the earth from around.
Just fucking standing there in the fucking middle of the fucking driveway.
During his career, he's held professorships and fellowships at Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and the University of Paris. We're only going to be on this channel for the first 10-15 minutes. Then we're going to be exclusively available on Rumble, because I am going to speak freely to Cornel West in my attempt to bring people together from across a wide
Wife, are you there?
using freedom of speech, not to double down on hatred, not to use language that's about discrimination, but to use language that is about unity. Stay free with Russell Brand. See it first on Rumble. It is a privilege to finally welcome Dr. Cornel West. Hello.
Oh, my dear brother, and I salute you there, brother. You the real thing, though, man. You got the courage to be yourself. You got the courage to take risks. But most importantly, you're a truth teller and a witness bearer.
Thank you for saying that. So kind. I was a little bit scared to meet you because I've been going on a lot of right-wing media, what are called right-wing media outlets. I watched you, of course, on
Satan!
Joe Rogan, and we've been trying to get you as a guest before that. I've looked at some of your masterclass philosophy course. I've
Can you
a great deal. And when I talk about
meet me when I get out there?
progressive politics.
I gotta carry in some laptops and shakes and shit. Just keep an eye on the stream so you can meet me out there.
Liberal media has become so disconnected from the people that they're supposed to represent, that the British Labour Party have become disconnected from the people they're supposed to represent, that the Democrat Party is no longer a voice of bringing people together, but in my view uses cultural issues to drive people apart, and are disingenuous even in their apparent support of previously and let's face it, currently oppressed cultural groups. Dr. West, what do you think is happening in our culture? What is our duty in media spaces? How can we bring about a new unity when people are living with so much fear? Thank you.
Here's there it is. A fucking ambulance.
One is we need a truthful analysis.
What the fuck was that?
And the analysis has to be one in which it focuses on the precious lives of poor and working people, no matter what color they are, wretched of the earth from around every corner of the globe. But that means keeping a focus on what you actually do. Military complex, the militarism abroad, and Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and big money. Big money and big military have become what the monarchs and the oligarchs were many hundreds of years ago. They have power that's unaccountable, unanswerable, and irresponsible. And it's so easy to get caught in issues of race and gender and sexual orientation. It's very important. White supremacy is vicious. Male supremacy is vicious. Homophobia, transphobia are vicious. Anti-Jewish, anti-Arab, anti-Palestinian, they're ugly. But if we lose sight of what is going on in the American empire, in the Russian empire, in the Chinese empire when it comes to highly centralized forms of power and authority that's crushing everyday people and ordinary people, we don't have the right kind of analysis. But you also need vision. And this is where your stress on spirituality is crucial, on morality, indispensable. Why? Because people are feeling nihilistic, they're feeling impotent, they're feeling helpless and hopeless, and they're feeling as if there's nothing we can do. That's not true. Waves of awakening, waves of spiritual and moral renaissance can take place. They have taken place. When? When you got courageous brothers and sisters, artists like yourself, truth tellers, like so many others, trying to, the Chris Hedges and others, trying to be honest, the Tiabis and others, trying to be honest and saying, look, neoliberalism is dying. Neo-fascism is escalating. The American empire is wrestling with spiritual decay and moral decrepitude, in part because centralized power at the highest levels of our economy and tied to military, with its politicians bought off by big money and war profiteering elites, are making citizens feel as if they are nothing but consumers, nothing but commodities. So that truth-telling and the visionary work becomes crucial, and that's what I've seen you do these years, though, brother. I'm telling you, man, it's a beautiful thing to behold.
Thank you for saying that, because your praise is a meaningful balm at a time where I felt, if not attacked, because I also get a lot of love. I come from the world of entertainment, so I'm somewhat praise-oriented, I have to be honest. But I have felt, sometimes I felt, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right way to conduct this conversation? You brought up so much, even in your first response there. I've been considering for a while that materialism, rationalism, and post-enlightenment values have led inexorably, even if inadvertently, to a state of nihilism such as you describe. It is very difficult with populations of scale to instantiate a centralized set of values, ethics, and meaning. And it appears that this divisiveness that I feel that somehow the culture is benefiting from has become worse and worse in recent years. A few just like placeholder arguments to consider, Cornell, as we hopefully advance our conversations, sir. And my friend Adam Curtis, the documentary maker, who said no one ever made a left-wing case for Brexit. No one is, and I would add to that, no one has ever considered what the emotional timbre of Trump was, what it is that he reaches in people, what it is beyond the rhetoric and divisiveness, what it is within that emotional quality that is reaching people. Given that this is a contemporary news show that we are streaming right now, it's worth bringing up an issue that's becoming somewhat defining of our time, the January 6th insurrection. It seems impossible to say that both those events and the Black Lives Matter uprisings in the summer of the murder of George Floyd are in a sense a demonstration of the problems that centralized authority will always bring about. That until we have a time where people that corral around these separate issues, these separate publics, before these separate, if these separate publics cannot recognise that ultimately they have to confront the same authority, we will not experience the kind of unity that both of us apparently crave. How do you think we have to frame the conversation, both for people on the neoliberal establishment left, but also for people that identify with patriotism and what are called these days right-wing politics, so that we can overcome and not only accept but love and embrace cultural difference in order to meaningfully confront these forms of centralized media, political, financial and military authority that are thriving in this climate of division, sir?
Yeah, I think we always want to begin with a fundamental commitment to wrestling with what it means to be human, because when you get to our deep humanity, that functions at a level that is much more profound than what color, than what gender, what sexual orientation, while we're all wrestling with organized greed at the top especially, but across the board, we're all wrestling with various forms of hatred and self-doubt inside of us. We have to be honest and candid with ourselves, just as we're honest and candid with the powers that be. That's precisely what the legacy of the Martin Luther King Jr. and the Fannie Lou Hamers and the Ella Bakers and the John Coltrane's and the Aretha Franklin. And I would listen to a little Loose Ends, and I would listen to a little Soul to Soul for my British connection here. What? When you listen to that music, my brother,
Aretha Franklin was racist as fuck.
The soul is always deeper than what color you are. It's deeper than your gender. That's why the arts become important. That's why you love Richard Pryor. That's why if Pryor was alive, he'd love you. He said, oh, this brother's the real thing. He's like George Carlin. He's telling the truth coming from his soul. But unique voice. Now, of course, the voice of black, the national anthem of black people is what? Lift every voice. Not lift every echo. We're not going to be an extension of an echo chamber. Neo-fascist, right-wing, neoliberal, Democratic Party, both followers. just inadequate. Both of them are major obstacles at this point for the employment of everyday people. So that again, the spiritual dimension, the moral sensitivity becomes important. And then, for example, when you go to Trump's people and you see, lo and behold, they're not homogeneous, they're heterogeneous. Some of them are racist, some of them are less racist. Most of them catching hell. Most of them are wounded economically. Most of them feeling as if they have been losers in corporate globalization in the last 50 years. They are right about that. We got to bring serious critique to bear on any kind of white supremacist, male supremacist, homophobic or transphobic sensibilities that they might have, but also recognize they are human beings just like us. And the fundamental question is the question that you've wrestled with and I've wrestled with. What does it mean to be a wounded healer rather than a wounded hurter? If you're wounded and then you're going to somehow demonize the vulnerable rather than confront the most powerful, you're going to end up with a right-wing populism rather than a progressive populism, or most importantly, in the language of Sheldon Wogan, my dear brother Bernard Harcourt, his new book on the cooperative movement, on cannibal capitalism. What are they talking about? Solidarity. But you can't have solidarity unless you have analysis and vision enacted by persons like yourself and others that say, you know what, I'm going to put myself out here and try to exemplify the very thing I'm calling for.
Yes. Thank you. Like Eric Fromm's edict that the priest espouses the word, but the prophet must become the message. You must live it.
That's it, brother. That's it. That's exactly it.
One of the things I enjoy about learning from you, Doctor, is that your analysis and discourse begins at a point of good faith, not from a point of misanthropy. This idea of acknowledging personal vulnerability as a starting point for our conversation, I feel facilitates a more fruitful and potentially beneficial conversation around the necessary cultural issues that you've identified around race and misogyny and exploitation. I spoke once to the British footballer who is black, John Barnes, who's a brilliant footballer for Liverpool and a few other teams, Watford, like in the 90s, and experienced therefore the kind of bold as brass, barefaced racism of Britain in the 80s, where like people were throwing bananas and all that kind of stuff. Barnes, though, was from a colonial background. I believe he maybe was born or grew up in somewhere like Trinidad, maybe, or maybe Jamaica. I'm not quite sure. He played for England. He was English, but his father was in the military. So from a class perspective, he was not growing up in the estates like many black footballers of that era. And he said he'd had a different perspective on race as a result of that.
Welcome, last responder.
His way of explaining the subject of race that he offered, he said that when talking to
we're listening to Russell Brand as I'm driving out to a job site.
In addition to the suffering,
I'm only about 15 minutes away now, but we'll kick this back on the way back.
As we still say in this country, of your class face additional suffering. I feel somehow that this openness is a way of progressing and advancing the conversation rather than being...
When I get off the highway here, though, it drops off big time.
But as you say,
glad you made it home.
Has to be a spirit of
got some rest.
And I don't sense that in the misanthropy of the mainstream. I think the starting point for both sides is, you know, whether it's a Christian idea of the original sin, which I heard a few commentators use actually.
Yeah, I was going to listen to it on Rumble, but apparently I haven't logged back into Rumble on my new cell phone yet, so I'll have to get that figured out. I'm not going to do it while I'm driving, though. So we're only going to hear about 20 minutes of it before he goes over to Rumble.
You can get this idea of infusing vulnerability and love and indeed spirit into the conversation is necessary, but sometimes it can feel by its nature ineffable, and in a time where there are less and less traditions to lean into. You know, new ageism can sound diffuse.
You're on the road too?
How do you give it the cojones?
Another pickup?
stones that
delivery.
spirituality has to bring to the conversation, the kind of God that we need right now. How do you stop it sounding new age, limp, and lacking in the potency we require?
What a beautiful question, though, brother. Good God, you have a way of...
Oh. So apparently that was the end of it? Oh, he must have jumped over to Rumble instantly. Or something was said there. He just cuts it off on YouTube. He doesn't transition at all. Delivery? Alright. You got very far to go? Oh, shit. We're gonna listen to Scanner the rest of the way.
7237, I'm trying to going around to the jail.
Ooh, 210 miles. Man, you're gonna be on the road all night. You got ANCAP with you again? Are you streaming? Well, let's say you are. This is from earlier. Oh yeah, you are. Oh no, 2 uploaded videos. Yeah, that was from yesterday. Solo today.
Sergeant, I have an RP.
Ain't bad, 4 p.m. Your time. It's another 4 hours away. It's almost 2 o'clock here.
Charles Robert Ocean David 17. Man, Charles Robert Ocean David 17.
All right. Yeah, I'll be done in about 10 minutes.
On a 2013 Ram truck, dark blue to a Clint Coonrod on a Fremont. Good expiration. Clint is 39, suspended. Going back to 116 Whitney Drive.
You went to McDonald's yesterday. You didn't get a Shamrock Shake, man. Oh, okay. You should be back. All right.
Victor 1390 Henry Edward Victor.
City of Clyde. Light and power.
Much white and colored Clint Coonrod. Out of Fremont at expiration. I'd be very close.
Hey. Truck just switched lanes behind me. That's weird.
Did you try to call it and see if you can come outside?
Oh, right lane disappears. That's why. He knew that. Yeah, that looked adventurous. That's what the wife usually gets. She usually gets the Fish fillet. I get it too, but I get it with bacon on it. Bacon makes everything better. Green Creek. We're going to Green Springs. All right, this is where it starts to disconnect in and out until I get to there. So I'm gonna be clicking and reconnect over and over. Oh yeah, for sure. Mine are pretty uneventful too. Just some crazy drivers from time to time.
703, I attempted Clint's public service twice now. He's not answering.
Did you receive Chelsea's last name?
Bedford.
Clear from that. She is, you can clear. She just needs to take care of it when she's cleared from the ER.
Yeah, it looked like fun driving that icy road. I got 65,000 miles on these tires though. It's about time to replace them. That'll be another $600 to 800.
Check his house, see if there's a quad driver.
The female alien talking about.
King William Adam Nora. Again, King William Adam Nora.
I missed that. I heard you guys talking about it, but I was jumping back and forth when we were playing poker.
703. Alright, you guys gonna be all set?
Pretty negative.
Gotta say, knocking on wood here, but I'm halfway down here. Usually I've hit reconnect about 3 times. Little gully here. Maybe it'll drop off here. Cold patch. I'll say shitty weather ahead. It'd be hilarious if it actually said shitty. Saturday and then go back down again next week. Something like that tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be dry enough where I can get some yard work done. We've had a lot of storms and tree limbs and a huge stump in our front yard split in half. Fall over. I gotta figure out what the fuck to do with that. Zuni Pueblo. Can't say I know where that is. Damn, I've almost killed this shake. Southwest Gallup, okay. Hey, inDOCtriNATION, welcome, dear. Just stopping at a client's place to do some computer work real quick. Actually, I'm just about arriving. Just arriving. Got my Shamrock Shake. It always stinks here. It's fucking Sulphur Springs right here. Smells like the rotten eggs. Damn. A few people has. Hopefully the wife's still watching because she was going to come out to get her shake because I got a lot of shit I got to carry in. He is. He's got a cold one with him, a youngin'. Yeah, got himself a few hours of sleep and he's back at it. Here comes the boss. Here's the boss lady.
Ooh.
It's like NCAP's going live. He's got a barricaded suspect. The Reaper called at 9 a.m. Cute leprechaun, yeah. She's all right.
What up?
Got some juice.
Sweet.
Some nanner ice.
Beautiful. Hello.
Hey, Bokomo. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna turn it back on for the drive back. No worries, Dirty. Well, I'll get back on. I'm not gonna stay here more than a couple hours. I don't care what they try and make me do. She's laughing at me, but looks like NCAP Cop Watch is live, though. Oh, no. Well, is that from last night? Looks like it's dark. It looks like NCAP just released a video, though, so go check that out. I appreciate you guys coming. I'll be back live. Hopefully, you'll get a notification. Make sure it's on all. Make sure it's on all. The bell. And you'll get one every time, either a push or you'll get at least in your bell drop down. Oh, but we'll be back. We gotta take care of a few things and
Fix some shit.
fix some computer shit. Thanks for joining us though. Peace.